Well, I'm going to take a Jordan Love prop in this one. I'm staying away from a side here. I think Minnesota's been really good, but I'm not necessarily going to count on them in this spot. I think they're going to play strong defense. I just don't know how they're going to be from an offensive perspective in this one. So looking at Jordan Love under 242.5 passing yards, I got this early in the week at this number. It's now down to about 237, 238. So bet accordingly. I would still lean on the under there because when you look at Minnesota, they've been very good on defense this season. I think as a whole, they're slightly overhyped. Offensively, Sam Darnold's been great throwing touchdown passes. The yards haven't necessarily been there, but the defensive success is why this team has been so good. When it comes to the Cold Hard Football Facts proprietary stats, they're 6th in defensive passer rating. They're also 8th in defensive real passing yards per attempt, so they're really limiting big plays down the field, and that's where Jordan Love's going to rack up his passing numbers. I don't think the short to intermediate game is going to get him anywhere near 240 yards in this one. So if Minnesota can just limit the deep ball here, especially with Jordan Love coming off the injury, we don't know how he's going to look in this football game. Definitely leaning under on the passing line. Well, I'm not going to say I necessarily love this play, but I do like it. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at +1 in this game. Again, we were talking before we got on here about the revenge factor in this game. I think Philadelphia is going to come ready to play. You have Saquon Barkley. You have Jalen Hurts, who when he doesn't turn the ball over, which has become rare, he's a very good quarterback. But when you look at all the injuries that the Eagles are dealing with right now, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Lane Johnson, that's 3 key guys on offense. And we've seen in the past few weeks, like without A.J. Brown, the Eagles offense is definitely a little shaky. They got Dallas Goedert involved last week. However, it's really been the Devontae Smith and Saquon Barkley show. So the fact that they just have Saquon really as their main weapon, Dallas Goedert overs are probably going to be a good play in this one. But I think the Bucs coming off the rough loss last week to the Denver Broncos, the offense steps up. Baker Mayfield is always better as an underdog in his career than as a favorite. And when you look at Tampa Bay, they got a lot of weapons on the offensive side of the ball. Philadelphia is very susceptible in the secondary to big plays down the field. So I think at home, this is a good get-right spot for Tampa Bay. I would not be surprised if the Eagles came out, ran the ball effectively, and found a way to be competitive in this game and maybe win it here. But with all the injuries, you really just can't go with Philly. Yeah, so I got a couple plays in this one, really looking at the Josh Allen to go over his passing yards in this one. It's set at 224.5, which is very low here. The Ravens defense has a reputation of being physical. We know that, but this line is just too low because Josh Allen really would have gone over this in pretty much every game if he played all 60 minutes in the football games. The last 2 weeks, he really hasn't even meant to play in the second half because of how dominant the Buffalo Bills have been. You know, Baltimore is going to be more competitive than Jacksonville and Miami, so expect Allen to be under center for a full game here. And while the Ravens have made some big stops on defense, they haven't necessarily been overly efficient defending the pass. They're 21st in defensive passer rating and 20th in defensive real quarterback rating, according to coldhardfootballfacts.com. That just shows how effective a team is in the secondary defending the pass overall. They're also giving up a lot of big plays down the field. So Khalil Shakur, look for him to have another big game. Dalton Kincaid's coming off a really nice performance. And James Cook has been a good receiving threat out of the backfield as well. Also like the Buffalo Bills to win this football game. I think they stay hot. They've been really good. And, you know, credit to the Ravens finding a way to win last week against the Cowboys. They needed to do that, but they've been shaky in all aspects of the game. So I think Buffalo is the more complete team coming into this one. The fact that you're getting points with them right now, it's definitely a good spot.